Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team 4, Youth People Together. Our team is going to present about UNESCO and SDG 4 in specific. These are the contents we are going to cover. First, we are going to introduce some basic facts about UNESCO, current activities that UNESCO is proceeding with, several institutions within UNESCO, and finally, the most important part about our own program we came up with that will practically help and support children that are in difficult situations to receive education, which our members will explain in detail later on. Let's start with a fun quiz. Does anyone know what UNESCO stands for? If anyone knows the answer, can you please write it in the chat box? I see many correct answers. The correct answer was C, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. As to the literary meaning of UNESCO, UNESCO is divided into three main parts: education, science, and culture. The ultimate aim of UNESCO is to promote human rights, education of the masses, and to preserve history and culture. They try to achieve peace and security in the world by working together amongst nations through education, sciences, and culture. UNESCO's activities have broadened over the years. It assists in the translation and dissemination of world literature, helps establish and secure World Heritage Sites of cultural and natural importance, works to bridge the worldwide digital divide, and creates inclusive knowledge societies through information and communication. UNESCO has launched several initiatives and global movements, such as Education for All, to further advance its core objectives. Now, a very brief history of UNESCO. In 1945, UNESCO was first founded to fight against the racist and anti-Semitic violence during the World War. Nowadays, UNESCO is challenging various forms of intolerance to protect freedom, peace, and human rights. South Korea specifically joined UNESCO in 1971 in Switzerland, Geneva.
Among many of the issues that UNESCO deals with, our group chose to explore their actions through the lens of education. We believe that education is key, the underlying solution to breaking the cycle of most modern-day problems like poverty and gender inequality. When conducted properly, it equips all learners with essential skills, sculpting them into percipient citizens capable of developing sustainable livelihoods and contributing to peaceful and democratic societies. While there have been advances in the pursuit of SDG 4, quality education, learning disparities still pervade our society. More than 262 million children are deprived of basic schooling. Even for those who have received an education, 6 out of 10 don't acquire basic literacy and numeracy skills, further widening socioeconomic polarization. Which begs the question, how is UNESCO dealing with this global problem? Let's explore 2 of their current initiatives that tackle educational inequality. Modified in 2016, the Capacity Development for Education, or CAPED, is a program catered towards increasing literacy in developing countries. Through it, UNESCO reinforces national capacities to undertake evidence-based national education reforms by increasing the supply of qualified teachers and widening access to technical and vocational skills education and training for youth. Countries like Myanmar, Bangladesh, and Uganda were able to benefit from this project. Furthermore, in light of COVID-19, UNESCO is also providing educational help in Latin America and the Caribbean. They are facilitating learning amidst the new environment by organizing webinars for educators and providing digital learning resources. Now that we have outlined UNESCO's educational projects, we'd like to take you for a more in-depth look into some institutions and partnerships.
UNESCO partners with various non-governmental organizations and is grouped within the name UNESCO Family Partners. It is composed of organizations such as UNESCO Chairs and UNITWIN Networks, UNESCO Goodwill Ambassadors, and more. From the list of NGOs, I would like to talk about the UNESCO Associated Schools Network, also known as ASP.NET. ASP.NET's goal is to build peace in the minds of children and young people around the world. Its role is to 1. Catalyze the diffusion of UNESCO's ideology and spirit, 2. Exchange and cooperate with UNESCO schools, and 3. Educate sustainable development and spread global citizenship. There are over 11,500 ASP.NET member schools in 182 countries that work to support international understanding, peace, intercultural dialogue, sustainable development, and quality education. In particular, the 2030 Agenda is important for all learners to acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles. By acquiring the values, attitudes, skills, and knowledge needed to contribute to sustainable development, learners make informed decisions and act responsibly in schools, communities, and societies. Online tools for ASP.NET are the primary platform that enables to connect and manage ASP.NET management and project communications processes, including the new member enrollment process. This is a space where the ASP.NET community can exchange ideas, find resources, virtually exchange, and collaborate. OTA enhances the visibility of the network and its members through its public website. It is managed by UNESCO headquarters and requires donations from all national coordinators and members who have individual user IDs and passwords to update and upload information directly. OTA's public website improves their project management as it is easier to exchange information between schools since it's structured and clear. Therefore, we learned that the idea of making a public portal allows us to not only advertise our work, but also can be an easy and effective way for many coordinators to communicate and collaborate globally.
From now on, I would like to introduce 3 of the institutions that are related to UNESCO and the field of education. First of all, the International Institute for Education Planning, also known as IIEP, is an institute that works to help countries facing complex and simultaneous challenges to achieve their education goals. IIEP develops the capacities of education through its programs of training, technical assistance, policy research, and knowledge sharing. The ATP program conducted by IIEP helps obtain educational abilities due to the current situation and ultimately aims to increase the general abilities of participants. Searching about these programs, we could get the idea of how we will establish a program to help students who cannot access basic education. Secondly, the Institute for Information Technology in Education, also known as the IITE, is an institute that aims to assess countries in the use of information and communication technologies in education. One of their activities, mainstreaming open educational resources, promotes open educational resources in non-English speaking countries. To do this, they provide support for the development and contextualizing of OER policies, facilitate the exchange of instruction methodologies in using OER, and contribute to the development of indicators for monitoring of OER adoption. Especially in this COVID situation, technology is one of the most important elements within education. We were able to be inspired about how we can introduce technology in our project. Lastly, the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, also known as the UIS, is the institute that aims to keep track of the data sustainable development, such as gender equality in education status in Africa, educational finance, and women in science. The UIS produces a wide range of state-of-the-art databases to fuel the policies and investments needed to transform lives and propel the world towards its development goals. For example, the UIS is leading pilot projects in 4 sub-Saharan African countries as part of UNESCO's capacity development for education. Researching about this institution, we could understand how statistics influence education and try to plan our educational programs based on the statistics. Within this institute, it is divided into several other programs such as the UIS, which produces a wide range of indicators in UNESCO's field of action through working with research data and statistics. While the three institutes share the common goal of enhancing education standards of all nations, it could be seen that each institute has different roles and functions to achieve this goal. Examining these organizations and their projects as case studies, we've drawn specific aspects that we like from each organization, and using this as inspiration, we've developed an organization of our own.
I'm really excited to explain this section. We made our own education program to influence more as youth. Inspired by Rachel Haywizer's words, youth will lead the future. We decided to form our own education program. To introduce our volunteering organizations, it is called YPT, which stands for Youth People Together. This program will be focusing on raising leaders. We thought that this name would be the perfect name for our organizations because youth means our raising leaders, people means people and promotions, and lastly, together means everyone working together to code. In a globalized society where English is the most common language, we believe that English education is crucial. We recognize that not everybody, especially those in developing regions, have access. Hence, through our program, we hope to enhance English literacy in Congo. In addition to becoming a more competitive applicant for jobs, we believe that English fluency will also allow them more opportunities in the workplace. For example, a local startup could create a partnership with a company overseas. This means that they can escape from poverty and live a sustainable life. Furthermore, by raising awareness on SDGs and UNESCO's role, we'll be able to garner socially prospective global citizens. We believe that the culmination of these individuals will contribute to achieving the UN's main goal of creating a peaceful and democratic society. Education of the youth is so important, and we all know so. However, there are children who don't or can't go to school. There are many countries that do not have an opportunity to get an education. Only 66% had attained secondary education. The numbers were even lower in tertiary education, with around 40% of the global population having attained some kind of tertiary education. We chose the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is one of the poorest countries in the world. Congo's education system is plagued by low coverage and poor quality. 3.5 million children of primary school age are not in school, and of those who do attend, 44% start school late after the age of 6. Data indicate that only 67% of children who enter first grade will complete 6th grade. Of those who reach 6th grade, only 75% will pass the exam. Due to these situations, our program hopes to improve Congo's education and poverty. We hope to accomplish education because education can reduce poverty. If children left school with basic reading and writing skills, there is a possibility that 171 million people could escape from poverty. It will decrease about 12% in the world total.
Now it's the curriculum of our education program. We're targeting elementary students in Congo. We're going to use some e-materials through YouTube videos and presentations. The training will be 8 weeks per 2 schooling periods, a summer school and winter school. The class would be twice a week. So starting from the first week of the first class to third class, we would learn phonics, where students would learn alphabets and short words according to each alphabet. From the 4th to 5th class, the students would learn short and long vowels. Since the students would be much more familiar with the alphabet then, we thought it would be the right time for them to learn some more complex words. The next 2 classes would be learning about sentences, both short and long ones. The next 2 would be learning short and long paragraphs. The next 3 classes would be learning real books. Since Dr. Seuss's books are famous for using lots of simple words inside each book, we picked Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, and the Lorax. The last 2 classes would be consisting of games, each day with the topic of SDG in the first and UN and UNESCO in the second.
Since we have established an education volunteer program and developed a curriculum for disadvantaged youth, we hope to strengthen the positive impact of our plans through the following methods. First, partnerships. As a grassroots organization, we realize that we may need help in terms of finance and resources. Hence, we'll reach out to established NGOs via emails and request partnerships. This is a sample of our email. After outlining what we can offer to them through an introduction of our organization and an explanation of our curriculum, we will discuss what help we're hoping to gain from them, such as the process of connecting with children or laptops to be used for ebooks. Second, promotion. We believe in enhancing the accessibility of our services so that we can help a wider audience. In a time of unparalleled technological development, the most effective way to do this would be through online promotion. First, our website introduces our organization and our programs. Additionally, we're planning to post about SDGs and UNESCO to bring to public attention. Second, on our Instagram account, we hope to raise awareness on SDGs and UNESCO in addition to our programs. To raise awareness, YPT is planning to post quizzes about SDGs and UNESCO and do hashtag challenges in the future. Through partnerships and online promotion, we hope that our organization can mature and expand, providing help beyond Korea and Congo, but one day to the entire world. So to start with, please follow our Instagram, visit our website often, and share them so that we can impact larger as a youth. This is the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.